I think India में there is going to be a new trend. It started actually, which is of intellectual properties. More than a meme page now, I think meme pages के साथ-साथ IPs are going to be the next big thing. If you have a nice idea and you are creating content around that one zone, uh, there's a good chance that you will start getting those premium prices for the content that you will create. If I would be giving an example.
We can't hear you now, Aryant. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. No.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, now we
Yeah.
can. Now we can. Yeah.
One second. Too many calls आ रहे हैं, इसके लिए वो I think कुछ disconnect हो रहा है. I'm gonna put on my. Uh, I think I'll go. I'll switch off my camera. Right. Okay.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. So IPs like a fake ad co or a commenter. See, commenter is not a very big page. It has say 65,000 followers, but he's in a very niche zone. It's not undoable by matlab it can be done by anyone. Vikalp can start a page where he is screenshotting a popular post and a good comment on it. But that IP can take commenter from one platform to another, irrespective of a trend. In an IP, you can cover any and कोई भी ट्रेंड अगर अपने को कवर करना है एक आईपी में वो इजीली पॉसिबल है सो आई बिलीव द नंबर ऑफ आईपीज दैट विल ग्रो इन इंडिया on a multi-platform level, say starting from right now it's very Instagram heavy, but when it will start growing across Twitter, across Snap or a different TikTok alternative, or maybe when TikTok comes back, IPs are going to be the next level where we are going to start giving a good uh, creative टक्कर टू द वेस्ट आई थिंक इंडिया में कॉमिक्स वॉमिक्स भी अभी काफी लो की पे है there is going to be a massive rise in the number of people that will be doing comics in India since from 2020. In fact, animated videos भी काफी I think there are very few who make animated videos right now in India and post it on their social. I know one is Debojit Saha, who created that lockdown masterpiece around
Yeah.
people people walking homes. So
Yeah.
जैसे ऐसे ऐसे creators और बढ़ेंगे ना, I think that is when people will get more motivated and start creating unique uh, content that will be solely मतलब it will have a proper language of its own and can be taken to any other platform. In fact, someone can maybe as a short format thing, platform will even buy these IPs. So yeah, that's my quick take.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aryant. So, I have a lot of questions, but if you guys have any questions, you can just send it in. I just got a question. Also, sir, how things work at office? Like example, you have Fevikwik, Fevicol, and Tender. So is a team allotted to each brand, or there is a social media team who looks after just social media for clients? So yeah, I guess I asked this. I asked a similar question, but is there anything to add on,
Yeah.
Akshay?
So I'll tell you what. So Sagar, thanks for the question. So each brand basically has their own team uh, in different proportions of time. So like obviously because a team has above 5-6 people, so there'll be different proportions of time being allocated by different people for the team. So typically like your vice president would have 5% time in the account, your group solution manager will have 15% time in the account, then you have a team lead who has 50% time in the account, and then you have your creative writers, content writers who have maybe 100% time in the account. Depending on how the retainer is structured with the client, different people are allocated different brands. And typically, each of these brands, because they are so creative heavy, we have different teams managing them. Because we see that creative as a process is slightly slow. It takes its own time. You cannot put a gun to someone's head saying, do meme they are, like it never happens that way. Like you've got to allow them time to really think and introspect and research and come out with the ideas. So typically we have individual teams working on different brands, but at the senior level we might have more, lesser people working on more brands overall, because that's how the economics work for the brand.
And what's the case? What's
Sorry.
sorry. How do you do it in case of ad parody, Aryan? The same thing.
Here, I think because right now actually we are in that structurization zone. We have stopped taking clients since the last 2 months because matlab, we have absolutely no idea on how to uh, run an agency. We are just in the flow that we are trying. But I'm taking Akshay's points now and I will try to use them. But because we are not a completely retainer company now, it gets a little tricky. Like you have this client for 3 months where you're doing massive activities for them across social, and then the next 3 months they're on a break. They don't want to do anything, and then like after these 3 months they start again. Ki, Aryan, we have to do this massive thing. Some clients only come during the IPL, etc. So yeah, it's a very different case, and I'm not in the right position to answer the question because I'm still trying to structure this out.
There are many questions. I guess I'll just start chronologically. How can I delve into the profession of content creation? Prerequisites kya hai, right? Aditya Singh is asking this.
I think Aditya, there is no prerequisites for content creation. If you have a good idea, it can be a text, it can be a one-liner, it can be a. You can make content on you. You can make content on Photoshop. You can do a Illustrator content. You can do anything. Drawing से भी आजकल content बन रहा है. So yeah, everything is content, and there's no prerequisites. You need to know just the basics of a software or something, or else you can make content on Twitter screenshots also. So yeah, that's what I think.
So, I'll just Sparsh has a question. I'll just mold it because I had a similar question, थोड़ा different context में. So Insta के case में when we create something, right? When I personally create something, कुछ अगर बहुत अच्छा हो मुझे खुद पता रहता है, right? It's amazing. People will add it to their stories. That's important. In my case, I think priority रहता है कि people add it to their stories organically. DMs ना करना पड़े कि add it to your story. And my friends do it, and they find it amazing. ठीक है, creative amazing है, but is it that कि जो recognized brands है, right? Mad marketing, Shebang, ad parody, सिर्फ उनके जो content है या फिर recognized brands जो है जिनके high number of likes या followers हैं, उनके ही content लोग stories पे डालते हैं, या normally कोई अच्छा creative बनाएगा तो उनकी stories पे डालेंगे? ये psychology पे एक question है, मैं भी confused रहता हूँ. So what's the case? Have you guys analyzed this?
It's good content, Vikalp. So sometimes my yesterday's post was not very ad parody friendly. It was a very nice post. It was very funny, but it wasn't very friendly with the audience. But I usually don't share ad parody content. But yesterday's post I had to share because it was I could relate with it, and I share a lot of small जो upcoming जिसके 200 फॉलोअर भी होते हैं ना, और उनका कंटेंट अगर मुझे दिखता है तो आई शेयर इट ऑन माय स्टोरीज, एंड आई सी अ लॉट ऑफ other people also sharing it on story because the content is cool. And yeah, that's it. If you have 100 followers also and your content is cool, और अगर उस by chance उसको discoverability मिल गई, say your 10 friends have shared it, and in this 10 friends में वो 10 friends में से एक बंदे को follow करता हूँ, irrespective of the page, I will share it.
Akshay, anything to add on?
I agree. I mean, I agree. Right? It's like even I barely share my own brand content, even though it's my own brands, I barely ever share it. Like I generally share something which I relate to. I think relatability is the most important factor of sharing, right? Like, in fact, I see many people not sharing big brand content because it comes across as being too branded. I feel some of these smaller content creators make so much more insightful content that it's a lot more shareable in that sense. So I think, I mean, ask yourself, right? Like when you're looking at two posts, irrespective of how big or small the brand is, I think what you would probably share the most is something which you want to showcase to your community because they are in your community or friends or family or whatever. and something which obviously is extremely insightful to you at that point in time, which is probably making a difference to your life, or which is giving you that aha moment, right? Saying, I relate to this. I think that's very important. So, which is why, again, so I think meme marketing is generally always so much in the moment. And I think, meme marketing and moment marketing actually go sort of hand in hand in a way. Because, memes obviously have the hands and legs to travel. And when it is added on with this layer of being moment marketing, it even travels further on, because in that moment, that content is so relevant and people are discussing it, talking about it. It could be, again, about cricket, Bollywood, anything, entertainment. But I think it travels a lot more when it's relatable. So I think irrespective of brand or no brand.
Before jumping to Abhay's question, which is about consistency, what's Shabang's priority, Akshay? I mean, is it social media? Is it Instagram? Or is it something else like SEO or digital marketing?
You know what? Like, our priority is to drive consumer business and to drive brand business. I don't think it's about driving creative or it's about doing one service. We are a end-to-end all service agency, right? So like when a brand comes to us, we don't ask them saying ke acha kitne post karne hai aaj. That's not the question. We ask them saying, what is your business metric? What is going to drive the needle for you? What do you think is going to help you move up by 5% in your category, in your industry? So those are the kind of conversations we have. It's not saying ke acha we need to get 10 likes or 20 likes or 50 likes. Those conversations are important to have, but from our perspective, we are trying to drive business. And that's where we get excited. And a part of that can be content. So content is a part of that driving the business. But for us, it's more about finding business solutions to client problems. So it could be, I'm saying it could be anything. It could be saying that let's do an event, for example. It could be sampling. It could be running media. It could be making a website, whatever it needs to be. So our approach is more business, and then we see what will help drive the business. Could be any of these things.
Thank you so much. So, Abhay's question basically is how to be consistent. Like, I'll make it a more specific. I think it's a question based on Instagram algorithm too, somewhat. Is it quantity or quality? Or if it is a mixture of both, what's the percentage?
It's a mixture of both quantity and quality. Sometimes if you have great quality and on that, if you are doing if you're engaging with instead of putting out 3 posts, but you are engaging with that audience for the time that you will be putting out those 3 posts, I think quantity kam bhi chalega. And consistency, of course, you can't leave you can't leave your audience content hungry for more than 48 hours, say maximum 72 hours also sometimes. अगर आपको एक अच्छा उनके साथ एक if you want to create a relationship with your audience, both the factors, content and consistency.
Okay, here's a question by Clinton about payment model, right? Is it R rate model or as a whole campaign ka budget? So I had a question similar to this. So how do you decide the payment, right? Budget kaise decide hota hai? In both of you guys cases, Aryan and Akshay, but budget kaise decide hota hai kisi client ka?
Sure. So I'll take it first. So in our case, we work with brands on a retainership. So when the client comes on board, we sign them on for 1 year, basically 12 months, to handle their 12 months worth of everything. So right from their content creation, their strategy, their online reputation. So we charge them basis the team that is being allocated to solve that business that I was talking about, the business problem. So it could be a team of say 6 people. Now, if that team costs me 1 lakh rupees to run, I will charge the client 1,25,000 rupees to as a remuneration to pay me to run that team for them. So we don't work on a per hour basis. We work on a retainership model, wherein the client pays us a fixed amount of money per month, basis the team that they are paying for. Because again, digital agency, digital marketing is all about human capital, right? You're paying for somebody's time, and you're paying for the overheads to run the team. So the model that we work on is a retainership model. Obviously, we put our slight markup onto it so we can maintain a slight profit on the account. And then we basically work on a retainership. So again, we could get clients who are coming to us for maybe like a 1 month or 2 month or 3 month project. So in that case, then we again, work out a model which is more basic deliverables, saying, okay, we'll charge you say a lump sum of say 2 lakh rupees, but in 2 lakh rupees we will give you 10 posts, one landing page, maybe like one influencer marketing campaign. So then we sort of work out a model which is helpful for them. Plus, even we are able to sort of monetize that model.
Before I go to Aryant,
Yeah.
I have one more question on this.
Yeah.
Okay, in the beginning, right, 5 years ago, what was the scenario? Like right now, अगर मेरे को कोई offer करता है as a freelancer, I just say you're giving me money, I'll work. Right? What was the scenario in the beginning?
I mean, see, for an agency setup, typically it is usually a retainership model because the thing is, it's very difficult to keep hiring and firing people. At least when you have a retainership model in place, that the client से इतना पैसा तो आ रहा है, at least minimum. So then you can at least maintain the team within that kind of a cost. So I think your question would differ basis the kind of setup that there is for the company. But like in our case, be it 5 years back or even 10 years ago, the model has always been a retainership model, wherein we try working with the client on a month-on-month agency fixed fee. But uske upar, if they want to spend more with us, obviously they can do that. But at least we know that itna to paisa aayega, so we can maintain the team. Because again, hiring for these teams becomes very difficult, and you can't get talent overnight. Like it takes time to send out resumes, you do testing, you have assignments. It takes at least 30 to 45 days safely to hire a good resource, right? And if the client keeps coming going, it's very difficult to maintain a stable team in that sense.
Yeah. Aryant, anything on this budget?
Yeah. So for us, usually it is the reason why we don't take retainers is because in the meme industry, if you have a retainer, you're not allowed to work with your competitor brands.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really works in our industry unless, matlab, of course, we have this different thing called a meme retainer, but that's still into experimentation where we make memes throughout the year for your brand, irrespective of continuous through and fro's. एक dedicated team होगी where memes आपके लिए बनते ही रहेंगे बस. But in our case, it is usually per campaign based. Say we promise them a reach of say 20 million, 50 million, or XYZ across platforms, and based on that we do the pricing. Of course, we have to be very competitive with what Facebook और Instagram ad पे जितना वो लोग पैसा खर्च करेंगे, YouTube ad पे कितना खर्च करेंगे, etc. Because they usually compare it with their ad spends, and they are trying to divert their ad spends to meme spends. Meme spends is what we are calling it now. I don't know if that will be a legit word someday. But yeah, so it's per campaign basis because हर एक campaign के requirement भी बहुत different होते हैं. Like some campaign they wanna that audience is only for Facebook, so they say कि we wanna only kill Facebook, we wanna get 50 million views on Facebook, so we focus only on Facebook that time. Some say कि they want to create a chain of trend where a template is used by 1,000+ people. That time we go for Instagram. Someone says they want to do a Twitter thread where people keep responding to that thread, and unknowingly they don't know that they're actually engaging with brand content. So yeah, it varies from campaign to campaign, and plus the type of campaign that we do. Cost keeps changing. Sometimes we do a 1-2 lakh rupee campaign. Sometimes we do a 10 lakh rupee campaign. Sometimes it's a 4 month engagement which costs around 50 lakhs to a crore, where the all social is engaged. During IPL and all, it becomes a 2 month engagement, etc. So yeah, we have to be flexible here, per se कि जो जैसे जैसे client का requirement आता है वैसे वैसे we try to say yes. But yeah, that is something that we are trying to, when I said before also, that we are trying to create a proper ecosystem where we make sure that the hiring firing doesn't happen, because I'm sure that is one big worry that even we had कि अगर कल 3 client ने बंद कर दिया spend, how do we manage them? So that's why we actually introduced the meme retainer thing, so that we are sure कि everyone's jobs are safe. But yeah.
Akshay, you want to add on, or should I move to next question?
No, I think he's covered it. I think we both have spoken about our unique challenges, and yeah, I think we can go on.
So before moving to Amit's question, I'll just take Vaibhav's question. It's about, do you guys still approach clients through DMs, or maybe there's a specific team targeted targeting various clients so that you land those clients, or clients directly approach you at this point of time, right? Because you guys have grown a lot. So pehle, I guess you might be approaching clients right now. They might be approaching you. What's the case right now?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so I think Touchwood, a lot of the business now comes through inbound inquiries. So we get invited to come and pitch for clients. Um, Obviously, it's taken us a couple of, I mean, in the first, obviously, we went after many clients. We were trying to call people saying, give us work, give us projects or whatever. But I think in the past 3.5 years, I think things have become better for us. Obviously, it took us maybe like a year and a half to get to a spot where people started calling us upfront. But I think now where we are, a lot of the inquiries come inbound, and we are in a space to even say no to many clients, because like nowadays anybody comes to us, like anybody like who has no budget also will come and say कि अच्छा बड़ा campaign करना है, but budget नहीं है, or like we can't pay more than 10,000 20,000 rupees. So then we say sorry boss, we can't take it on right now. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like it's purely hard work. Right? It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of good work. It takes a lot of PR to get to a spot where you can get clients to come directly to you. Obviously, we always have a hope that we can work with bigger and bigger and bigger clients who can spend more money with us. But I'm guessing it's a part of the progression. It's a part of the growing. Maybe if not right now, in the next few years, you might have much bigger clients spending much more money. So I think the benchmarks only keep getting higher and higher as you keep growing as an individual or as a company. But I think we are very grateful for what we have, and we never let that go away. So, and I think we're very, very grateful for the team, the people we work with, and the clients we have currently. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's only upwards and onwards from here on, because I think COVID has taught us that digital marketing is the whole and soul for many brands, and brands are only going to adopt the platforms more and more going forward. So, I think for people like Arihant and me, I think it's a great space to be, because the adoption of the platforms are only going to become more. And again, as we know, like mainline spends have come down substantially. Brands are not spending too much on TV. Brands have stopped print advertising, because again, print is not, there's no circulation for newspapers anymore, right? So, or very sparingly actually. So I think a lot of the monies are going to be diverted to digital marketing. So hence the kind of inbound that we see coming in now over the next few months will be a lot more. And I'm sure with, also hopefully if IPL goes through, I'm sure like even Arihant will have a flood of work coming, because IPL typically becomes like the biggest celebration after Diwali maybe, or before Diwali in India. So yeah.
I have one question for you, Akshay. So,
Yeah.
say if a startup recently a seed round startup who has raised say $100,000, can
Yeah.
they also come and work with Shebang? अगर हमको मतलब अगर किसी को say they need small services but they want to work with the best agency out there. So I will open for that idea also to work with a lot of startups.
Yeah, so in fact, we've been using the lockdown to actually grow our network. So we've been investing in smaller agencies or upcoming agencies also. So even, I mean, actually, a few of our employees who've been with us for about 4 years, they recently quit the agency and they started their own company. So now we are building something called the Shebang Network, which will basically have many agencies as a part of it, not just Shebang as the main agency. So even if these upcoming startups cannot afford a ticket price of say 2.5 or 3 lakh rupees per month, we have partner agencies who can take this up at probably the same kind of quality. They'll be working with similar kind of mindsets, similar kind of people, but the reason their pricing is slightly cheaper is because they are a smaller team overall, and their overheads are much more smaller. So I think quality of work will still be there, but but they'll still drive the same kind of conversations that they probably would be doing through a Shebang also. So in that sense, we've actually utilized this downtime to even grow the network slightly, and forge a few more partnerships. So we can, because again, we realize that we're actually giving up on a lot of business, and we've been saying no to many people. So we said, how do we at least maintain smaller teams who can take up these jobs then and not lose out on business? Because I think any business is good right now in these times. Yeah.
That's superb, Akshay. Totally appreciate the move that you're doing there. Vikalp, coming back to the question of the clients, I think first initially 6 months I had to approach them a lot. We used all types of marketing. I did DMs and all. In fact, one of the first client I did a DM and they were like, "Whoa, wow, what is meme marketing? Please come to my office, show me what you do." And yeah, that was my first client. He bought our pitch, gave us the budget, we gave him the delivery, etc. But after that first client, I think we never had to go for a client. We didn't have to approach a client unless we wanted that client. Example, there were some clients that we desperately wanted to work with. So for them, we had to approach कि please, we want to work with, give us any work. कुछ भी दे तो चलेगा, हम काम करेंगे आपके साथ, but we want to do it. But apart from that, all our 60, 70 clients that we have worked with till date are all inbound. In fact, we receive at least 3 inbounds per month. And yeah, it's completely word of mouth. It's usually sometimes it's like one person who was working with XYZ company quit and joined ABC company. So he will take us also to the ABC company. And he'll introduce us to the more members of that ABC company. And if that more members work with us, and if that group of ABC members, say one particular member joins a TUV company, तो वो वहाँ पे भी he will take us with him because he knows कि we're a delivery company. I think that will be same with the CMOs and everyone who work with Akshay. They know कि
Absolutely. Yeah.
Shabang is gonna, they are gonna create a Shabang, so we want them in our corner wherever we go.
Correct, correct. And that works a lot in our industry actually, because I think our industry is so closely knit that, one marketing manager moves to a different brand, then from some other brand to some other brand. So I think for us, this word of mouth and maintaining relationships is very, very important, because you never know what doors can open. Like, brands who I've worked with back in 2015, they have moved out and joined bigger brands now. And I've basically worked with the same person in 3 different brands because he switched 3 different jobs, right? So it's like a good door opening into new brands every year, because my same set of clients are moving different brands. So I think it's a good space, and I think one big learning for anybody who's beginning their journeys, that maintain relationships in the industry, because you never know when it can come in use. And I think just being good people is very, very important. I feel like, I think clients value that a lot.
Yeah.
So Amit had a question. So they're a blog website and they're on Instagram. So they're gonna promote both of them on different platforms. So they are starting from scratch. Any suggestions for them? Because you guys are into SEO, right? Shebang is into SEO. We had Shipra, by the way. I just mentioned we had Shipra from Shebang. Like, she used to work with you guys.
Yes.
She gave us a workshop. So Amit has that question. Blog page plus Instagram. What's the best way?
So I'll talk about the blog page. Maybe Aryan can talk about the Instagram as to how to grow the follower base over there. But from a blog page perspective, I think what's important is that you've got to be consistent with content. Right? See, the way the Google algorithm works is that Google basically gives higher preference to long format content, which is answering questions more importantly, because their updates are, if you see these smart snippets that come up on a Google search, they're basically able to read your content and give you an answer right up front within the Google search page, right? So I think the longer the format of content and the more richer in terms of keyword, and also the posting needs to be regular, because you've got to maintain your domain authority, your DAPA as we call it, to maintain your rankings within the Google sphere. So when you're starting off afresh, because I understand getting backlinks for a blog is very difficult and can become slightly expensive. So typically what we rely on is to do a lot of rich content, which is long format, and then obviously utilizing your social presence to backlink and share your content back onto the platform. Because even Google does give priority to social signals, right? So when you share the same article on, say, Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, Google does give some, priority to those signals as well. And if you can get more people to share it on the platform, the chance of you ranking for certain keywords increases. Um, Even Quora becomes a very important space where you can actually, seed in your articles. Today, Quora is growing pretty fast in the country, and I think every blog topic that you can probably think of, there's probably a question on Quora for it. So, can you actually utilize the Quora question and go and answer those Quora questions with your blog topics, right? It becomes again a very valuable source of juice, taking it back to your website. So again, just a few quick tips from me, but again, SEO is a long term game. It takes a lot of time. Obviously, it's not like acha ad start kiya to aaj and you can get results. It takes at least 3 to 6 to 9 months to see results. So I think just keep at it. Don't stop, because again, the moment you stop, again your rankings start coming down. So be regular with the content posting and write long format content. I think over to Arians for the growing of the Instagram community.
Yeah, you can start with the 38 people that are here. You can just tell them to follow your page. So this is something my mom taught me when I just started. For everything that we used to do, she used to be like, "Please send me those links. Even I like it." And she told me that every like, every follow counts. That's what we did. We made sure that everyone I know, everyone in my network, everyone on my WhatsApp, everyone on my personal Instagram follows my other content properties. Even my clients, I don't, matlab, I don't get shy. I'm like, yeah, please, and nothing else is my client. Please, you should follow them. They have lovely bars. That's how you get your initial audience, Amit. If you keep getting your initial audience, say from 20 to 200, if you go, just talking to every person you know, every college mate you know, etc., etc. I think that is your first step, and then you leverage these 200 people to reach the next 2000. uh, you do giveaways, you do shout outs, you do some, you just keep engaging. Key, I will include you in my blog post. I'll make a small write up for you if you give me a shout out and if I get 10 followers from you. So yeah, that's what we need to do for the first 500, 700 followers. And then you will, when you start doing this, automatically you'll get the right people who actually love your content, and they'll become your advocates, and they will move it forward. Example, I'm an advocate for a couple of pages. I like this page called Honest Opinion. I love the page. I make sure that everyone I meet, I send them in their DMs also this page. Yeah, go follow, because this is something good. You need to see this. So yeah, that's how you build your followers and your advocates. And these advocates take you from your 500 to 50,000 followers. I'm done.
So there's a specific question for ad parity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will continue.
No. I thought I'm done. Go ahead, Bola.
All right. So Rishi has a question. What's the difference between ad parody and MinXP in terms of me marketing? Have you been following MinXP?
Okay. Yeah, of course, I know I know their entire story on how they got acquired and all. Men's XP was, in fact, one of the initial social companies that used to do ads on TV also. Men's XP, I don't know if you all know, but Men's XP used to do advertising on TV as well. So when Men's XP started, they started as a video blog company where they used to make video on everything around men. Then they used funny content around men, etc., etc. But now when you see, Men's XP is not only a video or a blog company, but they do D2C selling also. They have a Men's XP shop where they are selling a, entire range of products. And these products range from your shaver, your yeah, it can be anything. It can be your face mask, and they're like a Bombay shaving company, but with the Men's XP branding. So ad parody is not, so of course ad parody didn't start in video yet. Ad parody ka to, if you see, it's a static only page where we're only creating regular brand related content. But yeah, in future we might get into D2C, and in fact we are trying. We just produced our first short video series of 5 videos on advertising. I think we'll be putting it out from Monday onwards. But yeah, so it's a big difference. Men's XP is काफी बड़ा हो गया है Men's XP, and D2C में वो लोग काफी D2C I think is going to be a very big thing, say 2020 onwards. It was a big thing in 2019 also, But yeah, if a page becomes very big, D2C is the best way to pivot to make sure that you have your, irrespective of anything that happens, you have your own source of income.
Absolutely, yeah. Most of my brands are actually moving to D2C
So
now. Like,
like
yeah.
Correct.
I just move to the next question. It will be the last question from the audience. So for both of you guys, Sagar is asking a question. What set of tools do you guys use, right? Basically, we use crack version of Illustrator for freelancers or small
Mhm.
meme pages. What set of tools do you guys use?
You know, we were using cracked versions of Adobe, and until we got screwed, uh, Adobe cracked down on us. So we had to pay about like 45 lakh now for licensing because we have about 120, designers in the company, 100 designers in the company. So we pay about 40 lakh a year, on licensing Adobe. So it's a
Damn.
lot of money. It's a lot of money that goes into it, but I mean, we license everything right from a Windows to an Adobe. Uh, See, unfortunately, these uh, all of these large companies work with the same set of auditors. So when one brand finds कि अच्छा इसमें crack version use हो रहा है, then all of the companies come to you saying अच्छा you're using crack version. So when the company is small, when you're growing, you assume कि अच्छा we can brush it under the carpet and we can move on. But I think as the company grows and your company sort of becomes like a hotspot of multiple crack versions of softwares, and they sort of start cracking down on you. So yeah, I mean now we use all completely licensed versions of all Adobe. Even Shutterstock, we have taken up all of their subscriptions in place. Windows are all licensed completely. Um, and I mean, besides that, we obviously use different kind of tools for social listening, for example, for influencer tracking. There are a bunch of different tools that we use for those also. Like there's something called Connect Insights for ORM tracking. There's Germinate. We have SCM Rush as a tool to track traffic to website, not just our website but like competition website. Understand how much money is a client spending or a potential client spending on their marketing. So SCM Rush is the one tool which we use quite often. So we're taking up Trello now. Trello subscription we're taking up. We work in the Google Suite right now, so all of our IDs are within the Google Suite. So we use Google Classrooms, for example. Google Keep is one that we use quite often. So I think a bunch of tools that are used across the company. Yeah.
या सो वी डोंट मतलब हमारे पास ज़्यादा tools का usage बहुत कम है. In fact, only 2 or 3 people use Photoshop at WLED. Our mainly day-to-day driver is PixArt or a Twitter screenshot or something around these lines.
Yeah, I think you can actually
InShot
design.
video editor.
Memes can be designed on the phone only. Like some of these memes can be made on the
Correct.
phone directly. Yeah.
And I've seen so many crazy video editors. They make, my God, they make next level content from their phone, sitting in a low network area, without investing in a big software, and they make crazy content. So yeah, we mainly get these content creators on board, and tools तो हमको ज़्यादा इसमें use नहीं होते. But as a daily driver, we definitely use Google Meet for all our communications. I use
Yeah.
Miro for mind mapping. Um, we use for Keyhole for our Twitter trends. Then Instagram तो अभी फिलहाल में we are doing all engagement calculation and all manually because of a lot of meme pages are private and stuff. But if not that, we use Pulpkey का. There is a engagement generator where we understand किसके page पे कितना engagement आ रहा है and what hashtags did they use in the last 5 posts. But one thing, matlab, if I would suggest something for what tools you all should use or something, I think the best way is to go to Product Hunt. Keep seeing Product Hunt every day. Don't like this is a thing I told the entire WLED team also. Product Hunt is one of the best ways to discover new tools, the best and the craziest tools for your particular set of expertise. Say you are a app builder, UI UX, you use Figma, you use you're into newsletters, you're into blogs. I think Product Hunt is the right place where you will get a tool for everything. And yeah, it recognizes all world products. So you're not stuck at key. You're just exploring only the mainline products. But yeah, I spend 30 minutes of my time every day on Product Hunt to see
Oh,
those
nice.
crazy products out there.
I'll check it out today. You can
You
search.
love it, Akshay.
You can search basis requirements. Like you can just go and search for what you need
Yes,
exactly.
you can. Yes, you can. So वो आपको जितने भी उनके products थे ना, it will
हाँ.
show you all those products through मतलब throughout their history जब भी उन्होंने endorse किया है, they will show it to you.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay,
In
I'm
fact,
checking
I
right
I
now.
discovered one product,
Is it product hunt?
product hunt.
Yeah.
I discovered one product 3 4 days back. It was called Startup Memes in your inbox. So this product is about you get good startup memes directly in your email every day morning, and just 2 3 memes, funny memes. So
Nice.
yeah, I subscribed to that and I got an idea. Key, okay, let me just create one more service where I will start inboxing people with memes. So yeah, I love product hunt. They give me good ideas also, and मेरे team के हिसाब से I keep suggesting them कि यार तुम ये product use करो. Then you for meme creators I discovered one Koji करके एक app है, crazy app. You can create some mad memes there. So yeah,
Nice. I'll check this out.
yes. Vikalp?
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very sorry. So there are 3 questions. I'll just wrap up all of them into one. I'll try to do it. So Rishi has a question that how do you manage different political views, different opinions, right, on a particular topic? Different clients have different views, and Shabang has a particular view. So how do you manage that in your content? Aditi has a question that uh, people like Akshar Pathak, Pranav Sapra just post puns or wordplay and people relate to it. But you guys try to do regular stuff, right? You guys do a lot of brainstorming, etc. And how does this work out? And at last, Sagar has a question. He's gonna start. He's right now he's working for free, but later on his client is in retail pharmacy. What should he charge him or her? So I guess I've asked all of the questions. You guys can answer slowly. I'll repeat the questions later. We'll
Yeah.
start
Let's
with
let's take them one
Rishi's
by
question
one
about
because they're very
political.
different questions.
Yeah.
All right. So Rishi has a question that your each of your client must have different political views on different issues, different opinions on different matters that happen,
Hmm.
and Shamang has its own opinion, or Ad Parody has its own opinion. So how do you manage that?
See, as Shebang, we are representing the client, right? So we cannot put out our personal opinion through a brand handle. We are representing the client on the platform. So what we say is a mirror of what the client feels or what the client wants to say. So Shebang could, I mean, on our own personal handle, we might put out stuff about LGBTQ, about formats, about whatever. But if the client does not believe in that, we've got to speak the way the client wants to speak on the brand handle. So, I mean, political tone, like, I mean, out of the 75 brands I have, not a single brand will allow us to talk political because that something is slightly sketchy. Like, you don't want to get into the political space for all of the, the right and the wrong reasons. So, in that sense, politics anyway like a big no-no. Like, when you're getting inducted into the brand will say, stay away from all political conversations. Now, Shebang as a brand, we might, choose to talk political, but as a brand who we are representing, we will never talk political. So, I mean, I hope that answered the question very briefly, but our views are very different from what the client wants or the client stands for, and we need to represent the client. So we'll talk on behalf of the client always.
Aryan?
Same here, Vikalp. We don't do any political content. We actually stay from political content everywhere.
Yeah.
Unless it's something, मतलब अगर if we मतलब my personal opinion, I will put it on my story. But brand को लेके हम we मतलब we stay away from this pawn politics. Something that can hurt, that can hamper a brand's sentiment or image.
I'll
So
just
yeah.
present his question from a different perspective.
Hmm.
So different opinions, as in सबके अपने views होंगे for a particular topic. Right, a thing happened. It was Dhoni's birthday.
Correct.
Dhoni's
Yeah.
birthday was planned. Something
Hmm.
happens unplanned, surprise. Right, you have to create something. Every client has a different opinion. You create a design, you create something. but you have to post it instantly. So वो कैसे manage होता है, right? Different views को कैसे address होता है in a short span of time.
See, like, the thing is, why we work on with the brand on the retainership is because it takes time for us to even understand the brand and understand what the brand requires, right? Maybe in the beginning, we might not get the
Correct.
tonality right. We might not be able to crack the creative in the first go. But I think a few months in, where the tuning happens, right? It takes time to tune, catch our agency understands exactly what the brand wants. So after a point in time, see, the client will always have opinion, right? See, creative can never be right or wrong. Creative is extremely subjective, right? What you think is funny might not be funny to me. I might take it as offensive, or I might take it as being, I don't know, like slapstick for that matter, might not be funny to me. So I think it's about it. I think it comes down to client relationship, right? Like you reason it out with the client, saying why we believe this creative could work potentially. Obviously, you even hear out the client's point of view because they are coming from the brand's perspective, while we come from the expertise of saying, we understand that this content will work very well for you. But the client will come and say, we have a different perspective because we think this can backfire because of ABC reasons, right? So I think it's about striking a balance, and a few months into it, when you go through, like for example, Fevicol, right? We only post 4 creatives a month, but my team makes about 10 to 12 creatives every single month, out of which 6 get rejected. Only 4 go live. But what that does is that we keep learning, right? Whenever the client says, "Kacha, this one did not get approved," we ask the client saying, "What did not get approved? Why didn't it get approved?" Then we start learning, saying, "Okay, fine, this is not getting approved because of XYZ. So we won't repeat the same mistake in the next month's content deck." So I think it's a learning process, but there will come a time wherein the tuning sort of becomes completely perfect or even 90% there. But I think that's where the brainstormings get more richer because the client has a point of view, and a lot of times the client also has very valid inputs which actually might elevate the entire creative. So I mean, we are quite happy brainstorming the client in that sense and not being fixated on our point of view.
Same Vikalp. I don't have anything else to add. Just you can जो भी अक्षय ने बोला अगर वो मीम्स के नैरेटिव में डाल दोगे तो वो सेम हो जाएगा.
Yeah, I mean, it can be frustrating sometimes because the client wants to, put his nose into everything. But I mean, you've got to respect their space and understand where they are coming from, right? Because eventually they are accountable to the larger brand. I mean, for us, the job ends at the creator. For them, they're responsible to shareholders, to larger companies, larger teams within the company. So for them, it's a lot more at stake as compared to for the agency.
Okay, so Aditya has a question about relevancy. I'll just put it out from my way. So in case of a product, right, you put it into testing, you create a prototype, etc. You do a survey. In case of content, how do you do that relevancy test? Is it relevant or not? Is it gonna
We
work
put it
out
on
or not?
social and we check if there are good comments, good shares, it's relevant. If it's not, so social is very experimental, unlike a product. Product, you're gonna, एक product के पीछे, of course, there's the tons of hours that are put into. But when it's a creative, the only way to judge it is to see. आज client, creative is like a movie. I think creative is like a movie where only when the audience will see it, they will decide ये अच्छी है या नहीं. When we make the movie, we know कि yeah, we are going to put our 100% efforts. We are going to make the right product, right movie. Same way with the creative. We know it's amazing, but sometimes, nah, the audience doesn't like it. So
Yeah, Akshay, anything on this?
No, I mean, I completely agree. Like, I mean, there's no better way to test it than actually put it out. So, like, sometimes we post it on our internal groups because now we have quite a large team also. So we're able to, we call it asset testing. So we test the asset before it actually goes out to the end consumer on a live platform. So we test out the asset, within our WhatsApp groups, for example. And we also have an in-house consumer-centric team who, who works on research. So, we have a panel of people who we test the creatives with also, and then we try getting, feedback from them. We're also building out some technology where, you can see people's reactions. You can gauge people's reactions to a creative basis the eye movement, basis the facial recognition. So we're building out something right now which can actually help us drive more insights from just from a creative, what are people reacting to it?
Great. So now I'll just explain you one thing. Like we are in the month of August. 21st is World Entrepreneurs Day, and we are celebrating this as Women Entrepreneurship Month. The theme is Women Entrepreneurship. So what we are saying is, if entrepreneurship cells in colleges have equal number of female members, then eventually we might see increase in female entrepreneurs. Right? There are only 14% of female entrepreneurs right now. So in case of creative or your agencies, right? What's the gender ratio right now, and how can we tackle it, or is it important that gender ratio remains equal? And if it's important, and if the gender ratio isn't equal, how do you guys plan to improve it?
So I'm very proud to say that Shebang has 60% women. Out of my 3 vice presidents, 2 are women. My influencer head is a lady. My head of media is a lady. So my SEO team has 1 lady head as well. So actually, women are dominating my agency, and I'm very proud of it. Fortunately, unfortunately, the 3 partners, we 3 are all men. So my head of HR is also a woman. Actually, my entire HR team is of six women. So we have a lot of women driving the company, and even my creative head is a lady. So I think we're very proud of the kind of composition we have currently. In fact, I think digital marketing has a lot of people. A lot of women actually coming into the foray. Like even out of every 100 resumes, I think about 70 come from women. So, and I think it's very important to have women in the teams because they come with compassion. And I think when you're growing a team, you need compassionate people who can grow your team along with you, right? Again, from day one, it's not like we've made a conscious effort to only hire women, but I think the best talent that we've got are typically women, and we're very happy with that.
I think 60% is just amazing. We are trying to achieve that too. So Aryan, anything on this?
Yeah. So yeah, matlab, when we founded the company, of course, we were 3 friends, and we didn't knew that we are founding a company. But yeah, I believe the entrepreneurship angle to the women, no, it's completely, matlab, meko thoda, I don't have much insights here because I've never worked with women entrepreneur, a lot of women entrepreneurs in my time. Matlab, mainly I work with a lot of women per se, but not a lot of women entrepreneurs. In fact, not even male entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of marketing teams. But yeah, WLED, my maximum, all my highest paid employees who get more money than me are women. There are more than 15 people who make the highest money because they know how to work right. They know how to prioritize things, and they are the ones who are when we can always be dependent upon. But entrepreneurship wise, matlab, based on your question, ki how is there an imbalance or no? I am not sure. But recently we signed one deal with one tech company. She leads the entire tech company. She's going to create our new app also, etc. But अब मेरे को उतना market insight नहीं है कि जितने कितने male CEOs हैं and कितने female CEOs हैं. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, I'll just take one last question from Designer Space. He's talking about timing on social media. So Skype came before its time. Zoom came in and just rocked. And how do you guys manage the timing? Right? Is it in some days you might be facing like you post something, you put out a content, and someone else copies it and does better. Like ये कभी हुआ है ऐसा?
होते रहता है. To feel like it's, honestly, like this creative space is so subjective, and ideas, I think the most common idea that can come to you has probably come to 5 other people, if you ask me. Like, though it might not be plagiarized, I think like ideas typically can just come from anybody, and I think people think very similar in that sense. So it happens, like where one of your ideas gets picked up by somebody else, and honestly they might not even know that it's been done before. Because think about it, like there's so many millions of creators out there who are making content on a daily basis. It is impossible for everybody to know everybody's content across the entire web. Like, it is impossible, right? So there will always be a situation where somebody else's content is doing better than yours, even though you had done the same thing before it. but I guess take it with a pinch of salt and understand the fact that the digital spectrum is so wide. There are almost 350 million people on, online, out of which maybe 100 million now on Instagram right now. It's okay. Like, I mean, your content is being seen by different people, so it doesn't really matter, is what I feel.
I think content timing is very like मतलब अभी
Yeah.
तो सबसे ज़्यादा important हो गया है. If you made the first post on Binod, you maybe got more you were the first person who got a lot of questions because it was a very curious thing. A lot of people started कौन है. So agar if you are right on time, if you identify a trend and put out the content immediately, you have those bonus brownie points. Yeah, you were the first person to do it. Of course, it also depends on the audience you're gonna have. But yeah, timing. अगर आप लोग app timing पे हो, if you're following all the trends and everything, that totally plays very well. For large companies, it becomes difficult because there are a lot of approval process and all. But for an individual designer, I would say कि if you have 3 ideas also around a trend, around a particular event or something, directly just put it out. उसमें से अगर 2 नहीं चलेंगे तो भी चलेगा, but that one thing can be a big hit. If you see a lot of Binod posts were covered by Social Samosa. Of course, there were some were famous artists, but a lot of them were first timers. मतलब उनका कभी cover नहीं हुआ था because they posted so fast, so quickly. जब भी Social Samosa ने maybe वो trend के hashtag पे गया होगा, they might have seen that post to be on the top.
First time.
So yeah, timing is super amazing. You always get that plus point. And plagiarism जितना concerned है, I feel कि if your audience knows कि ये plagiarized होके किधर और पे ज़्यादा engagement मिला है, that's a brownie point again for you because they know कि you're so good that your content gets copied.
Yeah.
And yeah, at the end of the day, a lot of people will know a lot of कि तुम्हारा अगर मतलब अगर similar content भी है, they will be like, oh yeah, even he thought of the similar content. So yeah, timing first. Everyone should try to stay first.
Yeah. As you said, like imitation is the best form of flattery. Like,
Correct.
if someone's imitating you, like, so be it. But yeah, I guess if you're, as I think as Aryan mentioned, that if your followers are able to recognize that it is your post, it's typically like even with photography, right? Like when photographers create their own style of photography, it becomes their own style, and their followers can tell a difference in a picture by just the styles, eventually. So I think that's something which you got to own, which becomes an important part of the entire brand building process, right? Like the kind of cues, the kind of content, the kind of colors becomes a part of the brand building process.
One last question from Sagar. So he's approaching a client from retail pharmacy. He does not charge anything right now. He plans to charge them. He'll do query handling. He'll do the post stories. How much should he charge at first?
I mean, very difficult to answer that question because you need to first understand what is the exact deliverables, right? Like what does the client want to get out from this? I mean, like you got to quantify these things, like how many posts, how many stories, how big is the team, how many designs, what's the frequency of the posting. Because again, you'll have to customize. See, like in a service industry, you've got to customize the offering basis what the requirements are. And as I was mentioning, this is a heavy capital investment when it comes to human capital, right? So you might know कि अच्छा 10 posts बनाने के लिए I need one content writer and one designer. But now if client says कि I need 30 posts in a month, you might say I need 3 designers and 3 content writers. So your costing will depend completely on what the requirements are and what the overall overheads of the company to run that team are going to be. So like what I would charge a client maybe 2.5 lakh, some other company might charge 50,000 rupees. So it's difficult for me to actually comment, to be very true.
One last question from my end to end this session is that what do you suggest to all of us present here, because all of us here are into memes or creative world or into tech, maybe digital space, SEO, etc. So what do you suggest, plus how Shebang and Ad Parody, how do they approach Shebang and Ad Parody or any other agency if they want to get hired?
Um, I'll take this first. So, I mean, what do I suggest? I suggest just keep, I don't know, keep learning, keep reading, take opportunities as they come along. Because I think now is a great time to explore digital marketing. As I was saying, that there's a lot of scope, right now in the industry. So utilize this time to learn as much as you can. Utilize this time to reference as much as you can. Try different initiatives. It's okay if you fail. That's what I believe. Like, you're still too young. You might be like 18, 19, 20, 21 years of age. So I think try as much as you can, because there is no right or wrong, and you might not actually know what is your exact calling until you try something for yourself, right? Again, because there are so many things to do within digital marketing, you might have to actually try content writing, you might have to try SEO, might try adding like maybe running media for that matter, to actually see what is your biggest interest. So my personal belief is that work with an agency. I'll also post our email IDs here, so you can apply to us. um, but honestly, like, I think try finding a job. The good thing is right now with work from home happening, everybody's working remotely, so it's quite simple to work from home in that sense. But I think the kind of experience you can get by working with an agency or like a content marketing company like Aryan's, is that you'll get an understanding of how the company works, to understand how content works, to give you the confidence in the future if you want to start your own company, right? I think eventually some of us might have the aspiration to become entrepreneurs, where we want to create our own company. So take the next couple of years to learn, to understand the tricks of the trade, and then maybe start something of your own. And yeah, I'm just putting the email idea so you can apply to us.
Before I go to Aryan, I'll just,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be
Uh,
great. Before I go to Aryan, I'll just repeat what Akshay said. Yeah, Aryan. Yeah. So we are doing the same thing in our society. We're just giving them whatever they need. They say we are interested in social media. We give them social media credentials. You create something. We give them a website. We give them a platform to practice SEO. Obviously, we organize workshops too. The main aim of today's session was learning, basically learning, right? So we give them everything. We let them code. We do like just practice it right now in your graduation years, in your college years, so that you can know what really are you interested in. We see people doing BTech and just changing their stream suddenly, right? And what's the use of studying 4 years? That is just confusing for us. So just know what you are really interested in and then pursue it. That's our point two. And Aryan had a session with us a few months back, and he taught us about social media and meme marketing, and we applied it to certain extent, and we are improving on our social media. Aryant, you can check it out. Akshay, you can too. Uh,
Sure.
so yeah, Aryant, you can conclude.
Yeah, so quick, like two things that I would say to you all. If you all are looking for your career and say website, SEO, SEM, definitely work with a company. Definitely don't just start an agency, because it will be really great if you get at least 6 months to 1 year. I would suggest 18 months of mad experience working on bigger clients and with teams. It's more important to work with a team in this case, because that's what it's going to be. That's what this industry is about. You need to know how to work with a team. If you don't know how to work with a team, it's going to be very difficult for you. So yeah, make sure that you get your experiments from your college, from work from home chalu hai. Uh, don't waste your time just at home कि यार कुछ काम नहीं मिल रहा है. Start working, get your first internship, blah blah blah. For creators, if you all are creating content, find a niche, create an intellectual property, because trust me, it's gonna pay out. It's gonna pay out big time. We have started investing in a lot of intellectual properties. Of course, our ticket size is not very great, but we are helping pages with 1,000 followers to 50,000 followers get their next 50,000 followers. Matlab, we are helping them add a 50,000 followers. We are helping them connect with our team for any mentorship they need, etc. But we believe that 2021 and 2022, digital IPs are going to take over. There's going to be a mad rage around digital IPs, and yeah, if you don't, if you're creating something, think of it as an IP. Think of it that only you can do it, and there has to be a real-time value for your content. People have to love your content. So not necessarily that you make jokes and you make people laugh. You can make anything. You can write some. You can make a small inspirational post. Maybe give them a post through an example. You can make a nice quick story on your Instagram slides. Say 10 post में. There's a nice storytelling भी कर रहे हो आप. But it should of course touch people's hearts. And yeah, if you crack that, if you crack an intellectual property or a digital, we can call it whatever you want, that is going to always be on your plus side. You will always have that one thing with you, which will help you anywhere. If you want, say tomorrow, if you want to go for a job, and if you have a page with 30,000 followers and a proper niche audience, that person will be like, okay, yeah, this is so cool. He might be cool in working also, so he will get you on board. And this is an always ongoing source of income that will be generated through these properties. So yeah, I would suggest everyone to have one digital property of their own. It can be as simple as reviewing movies and TV shows in your style. So अगर वो भी आप सही से आपके एक audience को hit करोगे, and your audience likes the same movies, and you keep building that audience, that will be madness. People would you can have a very nice opinion in that social ecosystem.
Thank you so much, both of you. I mean, we've been approaching you guys. We've been following you guys since a long time, and we really like your work. That's why we thought if you guys could join us, it would be really value would be added to this session. And we've learned so much. And they've already put out their emails and Instagram handles. You can just follow them and mail them if you want to. And Aryan, really, thank you so much. We learned so much, and hope we have a future collaboration too.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks so
It is
much.
always fun to be with Akshay. I learn a lot. I learn too many
Likewise,
things.
I mean, this is our second chat together actually. So
Correct.
we've
Correct.
done
We've
much
been
of-
lucky enough. I don't think इतना easily second chat मिल जाता है अक्षय के साथ. But yeah, this is crazy. Thanks a lot, Vikalp and eSelf, for this. Like, this is totally mad.
Yeah. Yeah. I think all the best to everybody. If everyone's
Yeah,
looking at
or
becoming
upload-
entrepreneurs in life, like please remember us also. Sometimes when you become big entrepreneurs, like please come and share some tips with us also.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. We will see you all.
And आप दोनों एक दूसरे से सीखना, हमने आपसे सीखा. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vikalp.
Thanks, Vikas. Thanks, Aryan.
Bye.
See you.
Bye guys. Bye bye.